Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to play some games with Blissey EX Pikachu. Now Blissey has definitely been one of my favorite cards since it came out. I think it's really cool and I've just been hoping for a time for it to be good. I haven't really messed around with it too much lately, but someone commented below one of the videos to try out this build of the deck, and I originally tried it with Noctowls, which didn't work as well. Then I went and looked at how other people are playing it and made just a couple changes, cut like a Pikachu and a Pokégear for a couple of research, and it feels pretty good. So we have Blissey, a stage 1 colorless Pokemon with 300 hit points, and an attack that does 180 damage and lets us draw up to 6 cards in our hand. It has an ability that is just an energy switch. It lets us move an energy from one of our Pokemon to another one of our Pokemon, but only once during our turn. We combine this with the Trumpet card that says if we have a Terra Pokemon in play, we can attach one basic energy card from our discard pile to 2 of our colorless Pokemon. So that's how we're getting energy in play. We can also accelerate a couple energy with Turbo Energize and the Powerglass card, but our main attacker other than Blissey is going to be the Pikachu EX that for Grass, Lightning, Metal does 300 damage, and we discard 3 energy from the Pokemon. And it has the Sturdy ability that says if this Pokemon is full HP and will be knocked out by an attack, it has 10 HP left instead. This is just a great ability, a great attack, lets us use Trumpet, so pretty good card. You can also attack with Radiant Greninja in this deck to snipe 90 to 2 Pokemon. We have Munkidori to heal, which combines really well with Blissey's big HP and Pikachu's ability, so that is pretty cool. Chansey, we can also high roll prizing that. It has an ability that says if we take it out of our prizes, we can put it onto our bench. We flip a coin, if heads, we get to take an extra prize, so that's pretty cool. This is going to be a Precious Trolley deck. This card really helps this deck because there were no chances that we could Buddy Pop him for. This of course says we can put as many basic Pokemon from our deck onto our bench as we want. Kind of a weird energy line too, just 2 of every energy type, but we really want to play a bunch of different types of energy, so kind of works out. And if we prize like 2 lightning or anything, we can always attack with the Blissey until we get one out of the prizes. And also shout out to the channel members, thank you so much. And that is the list. Let's get into the games. Alright, this first game, this is actually my first game after getting like to Arceus tier into the ELO rankings, and I get paired up against a donk deck. My games so far in Arceus have been very strange. I think I kind of do the same thing, but a lot of other people seem to do it as well, where you're finally at Arceus, you don't really care anymore, you can finally play the more fun decks. Now this person the reason to play a donk deck, I would imagine, is to try to rank up as quick as possible. And I kind of thought that I was just going to get donked here, which was pretty nerve-wracking. All they need is a Brute Bonnet and Energy Capsule, and they will be donking me because of the Perilous Jungle lets them do 100 damage with the poison. But as soon as they this is in 2.5 times speed, so they spent a while in the Nest Ball, so I was pretty sure that I wasn't getting donked. Here I Nest Ball for a Greninja because I want to use the Greninja ability before getting any Chanseys out to see if I can draw any out of the deck. I also wouldn't mind hitting a Munkidori Dark Energy combo. So now that I have the Vessel, I can do that. This is kind of an awkward choice since this is going to be like a slower deck. I don't know if I'm going to get to use my counter catcher. So I'm a little nervous about Ultra Balling away the boss. I end up getting rid of a Trumpet, kind of hoping that I didn't prize any, and I didn't. I should have known that beforehand, but I didn't check. So yeah, I grabbed the Munkidori. Now I can just move damage so that they can't knock me out with poison. Play the Iono. This is kind of a bad Iono. Definitely was hoping to draw a little bit better off of that. Maybe get into some Nest Balls or something like that. I also choose to bump their Stadium. Maybe I can, live an extra turn if I do that, because now they need the Stadium to knock me out with poison. And unfortunately as well, I drew the TM EVO, which I really would have loved to use that turn, but I can't because I already attached the Dark Energy, and now I'm in a really awkward spot where I have to figure out what to promote off of this. Yeah, my opponent's doing crazy stuff with the Thornton and everything. I didn't really expect that, but they needed the free retreat, I guess. But I have to promote either the Greninja or the Munkidori, because I need the Chansey on the bench to be able to Glass Trumpet to it if I even top deck or Greninja into anything. So kind of an awkward choice. This way I can at least TM EVO into 2 Blisseys and yeah, hopefully get attacking next turn. I could play the Arven, but I don't know, it's kind of weird because I kind of want to hold the Arven for next turn. I think I do end up playing it. I can't really remember, but ideally I would hold it for next turn. I should have held that energy too to draw with Greninja, because I should use Greninja to try and draw into a Pikachu so that I could use the Glass Trumpet and start attacking. Here I'm really just hoping that they can't get the knockout on my Munkidori, and luckily they can't. So I think I'm basically forced to Arven for like a Vessel and yeah, like something to discard, like a tool to discard the Turbo Energize probably. I should not grab the Powerglass yet. So I can Vessel away the Turbo Energize, grab a Water and a Dark Energy. I don't know. I probably should maybe grab Lightning, but I want the Water Energy to have access to Greninja at some point. And I should definitely grab the Dark. Yeah, I end up grabbing Lightning Dark to have access to the Pikachu and have the Water Energy later to have the option to use Greninja if I can. But yeah, also, I don't know, this is where Blissey's ability is so cool. I've been spreading my energy all over the board, but now I can move it all to one Blissey and attack and draw some cards. I also consider only moving 10 damage off my Munkidori, but I don't want to give them a free target for Iron Valiant pings. I benched the Pikachu. I'm not too sure about that. I can't remember what exactly my mindset was. Maybe just get it in. Oh, it was to draw more cards. So that makes sense. Yeah, I benched it to draw more cards off of the Blissey, which is fair. My hand kind of sucked and I want to get more energy in play. And having both the Dark Energy on this Blissey kind of sucks. Like, I would really like to have like one Dark on a Munkidori to be able to move it back and forth each turn and like use one Darkness Energy to use both Munkidoris every turn, but this kind of leaves me in an awkward spot. They do bench a second Pecharunt, so now I can boss up this Squawkabilly and move 30 damage off of my Blissey to the Iron Valiant, so that I can plan to either boss the Iron Valiant next turn or Greninja snipe the two Pecharunts. Is kind of my plan of how I'm going to win this game right now. And it's all just kind of, it's one of those games where I didn't really plan super well because I had no idea what my opponent really wants to do with this deck, and it does turn out they're just poisoning. I wasn't sure if they were going to like use the baby Blood Moon Ursaluna at some point or anything like that, but they don't end up doing that. And now I should just boss the Squawkabilly. I use the Trumpet for one, that makes sense. I don't expect to get knocked out next turn, and I'm also going to Ultra Ball away a couple cards I don't need to draw a little bit. I think I should have paid more attention. I think I still had access to a Blissey ability. I should have moved the Water over to the Greninja maybe to have a little bit easier access to that next turn. But either way, they don't knock me out. They bench the Blood Moon, which makes me kind of nervous. And here I'm super tunnel visioned on using Greninja. I thought I had the second Water in the discard pile because like I was planning on getting it earlier, but it takes me a little bit too long to realize that I can just boss up the Iron Valiant and knock it out, which is a little bit embarrassing, but you know, we get there eventually. Yeah, boss it up. It's got 60 on it. It's more than enough damage to win the game. Alright, this next game we are up against a Sylveon Dusknoir deck, which is actually pretty cool deck my opponent has here. This ends up being a pretty intense game. I almost didn't save it halfway through. Like, spoiler alert, it's kind of a long game. I'm glad I did though, because it turns out to be, I think, pretty interesting. We just missed my opponent's first turn here. They just played like a Buddy Poffin and a Nest Ball and benched a Pokemon from hand or something like that. And this is a pretty scary board state. It kind of forces me into playing this Ultra Ball that I don't really want to play because this hand is really awkward. And I basically have to get rid of like, I probably should just get rid of Boss and Pikachu, but getting rid of one of the two Boss really feels bad here. And getting rid of the Pikachu would make it so that I can't use a Trumpet if I draw it next turn. So I end up getting rid of the Boss, which I don't know. That's kind of a hard decision. Maybe the Boss and the Pikachu and keep the energy to draw with Greninja next turn would have been good. I wanted the Powerglass to be able to throw on Greninja to threaten using its attack because his hand isn't really the best. This is before I was playing the research in the deck. This is the game that kind of confirmed that the deck should be playing research in my opinion. I almost put him in right away, but there's quite a few people playing this deck and they were all playing it with just 3 Iono and Arven. I don't know if it's just like I suck, but playing decks where Arven is like the main supporter card always just feels terrible to me without like Pidgeot and Pheasantipity, without like another way to draw cards. The decks like this, even if I Pokégear for Arven, that like I'm still hoping that I draw something next turn, which I don't know. I whiff the Pokégear, but I do top deck the Trumpet, which is kind of insane, and it ends up paying off for holding on to the Pikachu. Now I can use this Greninja, put the Powerglass on it, and if I get an energy off of the prize cards of the top deck, I can use Greninja again, which is kind of cool. I know I want to get rid of the Pidgey here, which is kind of unfortunate because I would really love to just knock out both these Duskulls. And then, I don't know, these decisions are always super awkward because it's like, I knock out one Duskull, I'm still leaving them with another Duskull, but if I knock out their other Eevee, maybe it makes it a little harder for them to get into a second Sylveon and just makes it that much easier for me to win the game. This also makes it better odds that I can take 2 prizes with Greninja again next turn. So I ended up going that route. Really hoping my opponent can't attack this turn. I totally forgot that the Terra Tool card works on the Sylveon, which is definitely unfortunate because in my head I was thinking they only have a water energy on their guy, like there's nothing they're going to be able to do next turn. But yeah, with that tool card they can actually get quite a good turn going here. And yeah, this is where this match gets really awkward because just them being able to put my Blisseys back into the deck over and over again, and this deck having such minimal draw makes it super awkward to get more Blisseys out. And I do end up getting the Precious Trolley, which I don't know when the game started, but I think I wanted to Arven for Precious Trolley turn 1, but it was prized. Do end up getting it off of that Dusknoir, which is very nice. That is going to make it a lot easier to set up. And here I'm considering getting the Munkidori or the 4th Chansey because I do want to Arven for Stretcher for Greninja. Yeah, I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. Like, just these Arven decks rely so heavily on like the little bit of draw that they have, which I guess once you start attacking with Blissey in this deck, the deck starts like flowing pretty smoothly. But yeah, I almost attached the Lightning Energy. I end up deciding not to attach it because I want to draw with Greninja next turn. My hand's dead. I'm hoping to draw into like some insane combination of cards that will let me get into like a Trumpet and a Switch card to start attacking with Blissey to draw cards. I also want my Blissey in the active spot so that it makes it a little harder for them to shuffle it back into the deck, which is a real pain with this deck. Like, I don't know, Sylveon is pretty strong. Like, you want to put your Pokemon in the active that has the energy on it to like keep it safe from the shuffle back into the deck attack, but by putting that Pokemon in the active, it lets them hit it with the first attack. That lowers the amount of damage that the Pokemon does. So I don't know, it's just really awkward. I'm not evolving my Blisseys here because I'm expecting them to use their second attack to shuffle them back in the deck, especially if I evolve them. So I'm just holding on to them, waiting till I can do something really, like a turn where I can get some Trumpets or something and get a big attack off, because I kind of thought they were going to use the Dusknoir here. They don't end up using it. They just knock out my Pikachu, which is fine. I'm not sure what the correct promotion is here. I thought about promoting a Chansey and just evolving it into Blissey, but I don't end up doing that. I just promote the Munkidori. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of unsure about that play. The Munkidori is kind of useless at this point, even though it definitely could come up later in the game for sure. Or like with Pikachu, when it hits into Pikachu, I could start moving damage onto the Sylveon so I can knock it out with Blissey, or I could take my Blissey out of 2-shot range with, I think, 1 Munkidori, because they do, yeah, since they do 160, just moving 30 off of one of the Blisseys would make it so they have to 3-shot it. And here I'm just like playing out my hand a little bit to get cards out of my deck for Iono. Drawing into another Chansey is pretty nice. I can bench it and have 1 left next turn at least, because I think they're going to use the second attack. I'm pretty sure this is the turn that they would use it. I don't know. I can't remember. This game was kind of wild. They attach another energy here. I don't know, it seems like they have a pretty crazy hand. I'm not sure exactly what they would need to win off the top of my head. Yeah, because they can't take 2 prizes with the Sylveon. But they play this turn out like they have some combination of cards that wins them the game next turn, and don't even draw with Rotom, which is also really strange. But luckily I get that Pokégear and get into an Iono, and that gets me into a Dark Energy to draw with Greninja. A Research would like almost win me the game here if I had it in the deck. So yeah, definitely would be pretty clutch to have some Researches in here. And now we're kind of in like this stalemate situation that both of us are waiting until we have a good enough hand to actually do something meaningful, instead of like they could put their guy in the active and just let me knock it out with Pikachu if that was able to happen. I don't know. It's always weird when games end up like this. I don't even think I have a Vessel. Oh, I do have a Vessel. That is my last Vessel though. I kind of want a 4th Vessel in this deck because there was a couple games where all I really wanted to find was Vessels to get energies. And I did end up drawing into a hand that's good enough to attack with, or a hand that gets me an attack. I was kind of unsure about going for it, but I just think I need to draw cards, so I do end up deciding to go all out and attack, and gets me a prize and lets me drop to 6. I draw an Iono off their prizes, which is not really the best, but yeah, who knows? This game was so frustrating. Like, they just always had counter catcher to shuffle my fully built up Blissey back in the deck. Like, I don't know. This was one of the more annoying games that I've played in a while. It's always nice these games that are super frustrating, because your opponent just like is messing with you so much. It's like always feels good to win games like this. Yeah, just play the Ultra Ball for the Blissey. I can evolve the active. I think I end up attaching to the Pikachu, because all I really want to do is get a Pikachu attack, even though there's no way that I could get it with like this combination of cards. But yeah, I know they can't shuffle back into the deck this turn, so I should be safe. Or I'm hoping that next turn I'll top deck something that will allow me to get into a Pikachu attack, which I was pretty close with that last hand. All I needed was a switch. Yeah, I don't know. This game was kind of wild. Sorry I haven't been posting too many videos lately either. I don't know. I've been kind of unsure if I want to keep doing like just gameplay videos all the time, or if I want to try and do more like kind of like my prize trade video or my sequencing video, videos like that, and then just more like video essay kind of videos about Pokemon. So yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of unsure what direction I want to take it, because I've been thinking if like people see one of those videos and they like it, then they go to the channel and want to find more of them, then all they see is like 100 gameplay videos. It's going to be harder to find them. I don't know. The game, I don't know. I kind of started my channel off gameplay videos, so I'm not sure if I'd be like letting down a big portion of the people that watch or not by that. If you make it this far in the video, let me know. Hopefully I explained that in a way that makes sense. It's kind of one of those weird things to word because it's going on in my head, but I turoed up the active, obviously, because I lose if I don't do that. And this is the situation I was talking about earlier, where I'm forced to promote the Pikachu, because if I leave a 2 energy Pikachu on the bench, they're just going to shuffle it back into the deck. And now I'm forced to put it in the active, where if they hit into it, I can't knock them out with it. And I don't have any boss's orders left, I don't think. So yeah, these are the really awkward situations that Sylveon seems to put you in a lot. And they bench a Duskull, which is a massive mistake. I don't know why in the world they would bench that. Maybe they were like looking at their prizes thinking that they were able to use a Dusknoir. I'm not sure, but this lets me have like a whole extra win condition of knocking out this Duskull with 2 Munkidoris. And this is another kind of awkward decision where this is my last trumpet. I have to figure out what the energies are that I want for the rest of the game. and I have to even decide if I'm going to attack with this Blissey. I have to retreat, so I don't really have much of a choice with that. I kind of try to do it where I put one of each energy in play that I might need. I can't really get 2 water energies in play, so it would be pointless to put one in play. Now I have one of every energy to use Pikachu and a dark energy to use Munkidori. Now my opponent has the awkward decision of, yeah, they end up retreating. They had the awkward decision of if they, oh no, they couldn't just pass, never mind. I was thinking if they could use the second attack, but they can't because they just lose. Now I have game in hand already, but I don't realize it. This is like the most tunnel vision-y deck that I've played in quite a while. It takes me way too long once again. There's like a lot of options you can do with the Pikachu, the Blisseys, the monkeys, all that. And yeah, I go to move damage and I was gonna move it onto the Sylveon, but then I realized, oh wait, I can just no, hopefully, wow, I thought I already realized it. Yeah, now that took way too long, but yeah, I could just move it over to this Duskull and end up winning the game. That was a close one. I was definitely happy to win that game. Yeah, that was Blissey Pikachu. Definitely try it out. It is pretty fun. The abilities that move energies around, I think, are always super fun. It would be a lot cooler if we had Max Potion and if Blissey let you move energy as often as you wanted during your turn. I'm not really too sure why they put the once per turn condition on it. We've had plenty of like single prize Pokemon that move energy as much as you want during your turn, which is kind of weird, but either way, still fun. Munkidori combines with Pikachu so well, and it's super cool. I also think I'm going to be streaming a bit more, so definitely check that out. I'll be streaming on YouTube if I do, or when I do. Like or dislike, comment, subscribe, take care, and have a good one.